Hello, hello, Prime My Body family. Good morning, good morning. Yes, I hate it that we cannot chat. Absolutely hate that. But y'all have seen what Zoom has been doing and what the trolls have been doing out there in the world of the world of Zoom. Dr. Siegel, we had a Zoom not too long ago, and some very colorful comments came up throughout our whole chat session. So,
really,
but that was a nationwide thing. Evidently, there's some trolls out there that are trolling Zoom and the internet and some other areas. So we'll get this call started in about 90 seconds. Hope everybody is doing well this morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I just wanted to thank you for being here. Again, we're going to take about 60 more seconds to get this rolling. You are fortunate. You get to meet the Prime My Body vet and this new rollout of our amazing product, PAWS, and what that's going to mean for you, your pets, and the people that mean a bunch to you inside your own community, which is your household. We've got 2 pets in our house. Rocky, the rescue rat terrier, is about this big, and Rocky runs the house, or at least he thinks he does. He thinks he's the alpha dog at all 13 pounds of him. And then there's Dakota. Her bark is a lot worse than her bite, but she scares a lot of people off with that 100-pound frame that she has. So let's dive in. Let's dive in. We've got one after, and I want to respect Dr. Siegel's time. She is a busy veterinarian. She this morning took time to be on the phone with me, and super excited about getting a chance to host this, also getting a chance to roll this out. And I learned a lot from you this morning, just asking a question about our lab with hip dysplasia. And you started talking about leaky gut, and you started talking about processed foods, and you started talking about the percentages of carbohydrates to proteins. And I went, oh my gosh, I should know all this already. Oh my gosh. Dr. Siegel, it was amazing to just kind of get that aha moment in my own spirit, in my own life with my animals, which I've never had that before. So thank you for enlightening. Sandra and I, Sandra's already on your site. So excited to get your ebook and get excited to do the things that we need to do to take care of our animals. So I'm going to light you up with a couple of questions, but just real quick, introduce yourself. What have you done for a living? Where'd you go to school? What's your overall excitement about, what we're doing here inside the world of health for our amazing animals that we love and cherish so much? Dr. Siegel, take it away.
thank you. Well, that was a big open spot there. So I think I intended into this world knowing I was going to be a veterinarian. Even as a child, I played with stuffed animals. I never played with dolls. And so I was very fortunate. I got to go to the University of Florida College of Veterinary Medicine. And after graduation, I've now been in practice. I'm rounding close to 40 years in practice. I've done emergency work. I am also a paramedic. That's how I did my undergraduate work. I just love emergency medicine, but I've been doing that just in the veterinary field. So 40 years in practice and 38 of them in the same location. My twist in practice came about 20 plus years ago when one of my horses had a riding accident with my youngest daughter in the arena. And what happened was the horse had a spasm. She reared in the air. My daughter didn't know to let go of the reins. And so she was literally dangling from the reins on this horse's mouth, trying not to fall off, and inadvertently was going to pull the horse over backwards. And that could have been a fatal accident because a 1,400-pound horse physically landing on a 50-pound child would have been a disaster. But somehow this horse knew where that child was falling, and as she was being pulled over, she consciously pushed herself as hard as she could in the opposite direction. When she hit the ground, I could not see space between my child and the horse. When she did catch her breath and get back onto her feet, my daughter was still laying on the ground, not moving. So by the time I jumped over the railing and I ran over to my daughter, not knowing what I was going to find, thank God, the only thing my daughter hurt was her pride. But that wasn't the end of the story. What ended up happening is back home at our training barn, she had several more incidences where this spasm was happening. And I had equine veterinarians come out and look at her, and they said, Dr. Siegel, I don't know what to tell you. We don't know what's wrong with her, but here's the two things we can tell you. One, she's not ever going to be safe to ride again. She'll never be shown again. And here are your two choices. You can put her out to a pasture and retire her, or you can put her down. And it was those words, John, that really launched me into a whole new paradigm shift, because that horse had saved my daughter's life. And there was nothing that was going to stop me from healing this horse. And that was really started my journey into integrated medicine, because I was going to find an answer. And I just knew in my heart that just because they didn't have it didn't mean it didn't exist. It just meant they didn't know any better. And that's what I've been doing ever since, is finding more and more modalities to be able to integrate into practice. And as I treated her, I ended up bringing that into my practice. And so now I have probably the most integrated veterinary practice in the entire world with the technologies that we have, because in my heart, I felt like if there was something out there that was going to help, I was going to use it. And so I've never let price dissuade me on buying equipment. I have some pieces of equipment that are over $40,000 in a veterinary practice. My x-ray machine is $150,000. And I said, I don't care. I need the best. I need to be able to do what I need to do, and I want the outcomes. And so I'm very fortunate that we have outcomes that most people don't get to achieve. As a consequence to that, you want me to stop?
Yeah, what I was going to ask you, I was going to say, first of all, that makes all of us feel absolutely amazing. So there are a lot of people that are on here that are going, yes, yes, and yes. We love that because you put your money where your mouth is. You do the best because you spend the money to get the best, so that you can do what you do as a vet, so that you can treat as a vet. What is your, when you look at it, what is your approach to animals? What is your approach as far as just the overall health? Because we are rolling out a great organic product, and we'll get into the product in a minute, but I know you have an ebook and you have some things that you talk about specifically for some of the guidelines that you like to go over. So would you mind sharing?
Oh, I'd love to share it. And this is a free ebook, guys. You're welcome to download it. It's called holistichealingvet.com is the website. And it's actually 6 principles to healing, but I only published 5. So the first principle is we have to stop polluting the body. And it's like, you can't clean up a polluted river while people are still putting in pollution. So number 1, we have to learn how to stop the pollution, and that's food, water, environment, our toxic lifestyle. The second element is that we have to make sure that the body has all the essential nutrients that it needs to do its job. Different than what most veterinarians are trained to do, I don't treat symptoms. I treat the root cause, which means that I have to work within the body's biology. I have to know how the body was biologically designed to work, so that I can see where is the mistake happening and how can I fix it so the body can go back and do its job. And essential nutrients are a very key, important part of that. The third ingredient is healing the gut. We have to heal that leaky gut, and we have specific recommendations that we do that with. Number 4 is detoxification, and this is where this product that you guys have just developed, and I was honored to be a part of that, is going to play a key role, is because we have 6 organs of elimination, and our toxic lifestyles have just overwhelmed these organs of elimination: kidney, colon, lungs, liver, lymphatic, huge, and the skin. So when we make these organs so toxic and so overwhelmed they can't do their job, then we're just getting a backup of all this pollution. Number 5 is we work on the mitochondria, another big important area where this product is going to play a huge role. And we want to be able to not only turn the mitochondria on, because that's what makes the energy that runs the body, but we need more mitochondria. And the lifestyles that we're leading are causing these to be very dysfunctional. And we can't run our body without the energy. And that's where the mitochondria play a huge role. And my 6th component, which I don't have in the ebook, is we clear the trapped emotions. That's more for our woo-woo audience, but it's a huge important factor.
We don't have a woo-woo audience. I just want you to know that.
We are the woo-woo audience.
Exactly. You are definitely plugged into the woo of the woo. I love our community. We all believe the woo-woo side of it. So keep going. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
Well, I think it's important that we realize that everything really does happen for a reason. And this is the audience that I believe not only use those words, but use them and mean it. So like even the time period that we're in right now, I think it's a huge blessing. And I'm not just counting the people that are suffering, and there's going to be a lot of fallout, but we also needed to have a change. And we needed to wake up, and we needed to have people become more conscious. And now people are actually coming back to, wow, what is my lifestyle and what can I do to be healthier? Because that's how we keep from getting dis-ease. And even the planet is breathing better with people staying home more. And honestly, everybody really has all the resources they need. We got a roof over our head. We've got utilities. We've got food. We got water. We really need to have our consciousness woken up, and we need to start taking the power to heal back. And we need to really be focused on why are we here, and are we serving the highest and greatest good with our gifts, our talents, our passion. Didn't think it was going there.
Dr. Siegel, we might as well just end this right now. That is so enlightening to hear you say that. It really is. It's so good to hear. Because our field is right along there with you. We want to take the consciousness to another level. We're doing it with products for our body. We're taking the conscious. Dr. Ron does an amazing job of taking our consciousness, our educational level, the thoughts, everything that we do. But we've also got our animals, and our animals are feeding off of our emotions right now. They're feeding off of our fear or our certainty, or when we're sad or we don't know what's going on. They all have those they all have those emotions that they're going through. And you also talked about this. You talked about this morning. You talked about the animals as a whole, and visiting and talking with you about that. Let's dive into some of what the product means, because PAWS is a phenomenal product. And you said something that was important earlier. You said this hemp has to be in a dog's body, and it has to be in a cat's body. And you said that to me today, and I went, yes, it does. But it's good to hear you validate that and put the stamp on it and talk about that. Let's dive in. And again, we're going to come back, guys. You're going to see her over the next 30 days. We're going to have, frequently asked questions, slides, some different things that'll come up. But today, you're getting to know Dr. Siegel, and she's going to give you some of the conversation behind each of this. So make sure you're writing, taking notes, etc. We'll have this Zoom. It is being recorded, so we'll be able to get this out as well. But let's dive into PAWS real quick. And by the way, I love what you're saying on the front end, because our whole field loves that. And they're all hitting me saying, we love you. She's awesome. She's awesome. Yes, yes, and yes. But you're getting validated. So when you see me look down, I'm just getting, because we don't have a chat line anymore, I'm getting the validations of you're amazing.
Oh, thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. And I can feel that energy coming through. I'm getting tingles. Woo! All right. So, I mentioned earlier that I work within the body's biology, which means that when we see how a system is designed, it means that it was designed to work with certain things. Well, we have this endocannabinoid system, and it was man that took away the whole hemp plant. I mean, it was out there in nature. Animals used to wild forage on it. Man took it away. So if anything, I think we really are cannabinoid deficient in our world right now. So there's so many things that we don't understand, but if we just rely on the body biology and we say, if something is designed to be in the body, then it's very likely that it's supposed to be used that way. And man goes in there and kind of messes it up, deletes it, or whatever we do that adulterates it. And so we actually create a lot of the problems based on our lifestyle that we are dealing with right now. This product really, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart, it is really awesome. And I'm so honored that I got a chance to participate in making it. When Buddy first approached me and he asked me some questions, and I said, look, and I wasn't even part of the company. I was just literally giving my opinion. And every single point that I made, they put into this product. So it was almost like if I could have my best wish put together, there it was. And they did it without question, without reservation. They just did it. Wasn't, oh, it's too expensive, or the ingredients, or the process, nothing. It was just, this is what it needs to be. Let's get it done. So you want me to go through each of the products? Okay. So first and foremost, this product is organic. And why is that important? Because we know that the underlying cause of inflammation has to do with toxicity. The more we can reduce toxins from the environment or from entering our body, whether we're eating it or putting it on our skin, the better off we're going to be. So that's number one, is everything in this product is organic. The second thing that they've done is they've used 2 liposomal ingredients, which means that they're packaged in a way that the body has the easiest and most effective way to absorb. So it's going to be most available. There's a lot of products on the market that sound great, but your body can't absorb them. So this is made in a liposomal formulation that allows better absorption of the ingredients. Okay, so let's get into the ingredients. Curcumin. Well, there's just tons of information on the internet about how these products, which are found in natural foods, right? If you're cooking, put a lot of turmeric into your food. We have put turmeric into everything. It could be in eggs, it's in our shakes. We use a ton of turmeric. I grow turmeric. It's a phenomenal product. But we know that its hallmark is to fight inflammation. What's the underlying cause of all dis-ease is inflammation. So here we have a product that is documented with tons and tons of research about how it is a great anti-inflammatory, getting to the root cause of all dis-ease. In fact, curcumin is more potent as an anti-inflammatory than non-steroidals like aspirins and ibuprofen, all those products which have horrible side effects. There is no side effect to using turmeric. Okay, next one is the glucosamine. Now, if you are using products that have glucosamine in it, go read your bottle, because a majority of the glucosamine products have hydrochloride. It'll say glucosamine HCl or glucosamine hydrochloride. That is not a bioavailable form of glucosamine. So you're wasting a lot of money and your pet is not getting the benefit that you think that they're getting. This product, we put in a glucosamine sulfate, which is bioavailable to the body. It's a natural product and it protects the cartilage. It's a chondroprotectant. So it helps to build and replace and nourish the padding between the joints. All right, which also obviously will help to reduce pain and inflammation. The third component in this product is that it is a full spectrum CBD. There are lots and lots of companies, and this is true of the pharmaceutical industry, is they find an ingredient that is in a natural food, because honestly, most of our drugs come from a natural source. And they take that one active ingredient and they go, oh, wow, that's going to make the big difference. That's causing the relief of X, Y, and Z. So we're just going to harness just that particular isolate. But nature didn't put it in there as an isolate. Nature put it in there with a whole bunch of things around it. So in my personal opinion, I think a full spectrum product is going to be much more beneficial, because there's so many synergistic reactions that we don't even know about yet. All these different isolates coming together and reacting with the body in a way that we can't even imagine. So I think that is a really important part, and that's what this particular product is full spectrum. And a lot of products don't use full spectrum because it is more expensive. The next thing is that they chose to use MCT oil as its carrier. Now we know that medium chain triglycerides are really healthy, but they have their own benefits. They improve brain function, they boost energy, exercise, and endurance, helps with weight loss, lowers cholesterol, which animals do have a cholesterol problem. It lowers blood sugar, another issue for animals because we feed them these diets that are just inundated in sugar. Most pet foods that are processed have between 40 and 60% sugar. It's the carbohydrate count, which is not even listed on the bag or the can because they don't want you to know that. Another thing that MCT oil does, it helps to increase the absorption of the curcumin. So how cool is that? Then we put in organic catnip. And catnip is shown to improve digestion. As we have a ton of animals that are suffering from constipation. In the past 10 years, we have seen cancer rates in animals that are higher than in humans. Dogs are now at 1.165. That's almost 100% of dogs getting cancer. Cats are said to be 1 out of 3, and I think that's an underreported number because a lot of people don't take their cats in. So we're seeing a ton of cancer and constipation. A lot of these animals aren't able to eliminate properly through their colon. They have a lot of gas and cramping and bloating, and that is one of the things that catnip is really known for as another anti-inflammatory. So that has a lot to do with the product itself, but let's talk a little bit about how the product was made. In fact, I have a blog on my website, which is pascovet.com, and it's all about how to find a good CBD product and what do you look for. So another element that I think is super important is how is it made. So this uses a CO2 extraction. It's the most expensive, but it's also the gold standard for how CBD is extracted. And the last couple points is that we have an organic hemp seed oil. The quality of the product is totally related to the quality of the ingredients. And I love hemp seed oil. I made a shake this morning. I have MCT oil in it. I have my own pet fuel, which is the same product that's on the website for the animals. I put that in my food. I take my aminos and I take, what else do I have in there? Gosh, I had aminos, pet fuel, the fatty acids, hemp seed, goji berries. I have mulberries out of the garden, so they went in there. Bananas that I grew went in there. It was this superfood shake. Oh my God. And then I added cinnamon. Amazing. And then what we did is we chose to flavor it with chicken. This is a full, real chicken product. And the palatability studies that we've done so far, we were at 100% palatability for these animals. They didn't just come over and look at it. They ran over and were really excited to eat.
Wow, man, I love that. It just made me hungry. I haven't eaten. I'm intermittent fasting, so that shake sounds amazing. This product, you know, from you and the years that you've had, it sounds absolutely amazing. I know. Can you talk about some of the things you're doing as you're, you know, in the process of starting studies, doing some clinical trials as well? Can you talk about that? Because, you know, our field likes research, and we always want to fall on kind of that, we always want to fall in line with research so that we know what's happening with that. Can you give us a little peek into your lab with a pad and a pen there, if you don't mind?
Absolutely. So what we've done so far is we've done palatability studies. We had a limited amount of product, and we wanted to pick the product that had the best palatability with the formulation that we wanted. So that was our first objective, and we fed it to a bunch of different animals. We had 2 bowls, and we had 2 different, we kind of kept narrowing it down till we got down to 2 different formulas. And then we picked the one that had the highest palatability. That was number 1. But now that the product is launched and I'm waiting for the supply to come in, we're going to start doing some field trials. One of the things I'm going to be looking at is what is the effect that it has on the 4th phase of water. Now, this is a huge area of importance because maybe I'll do a whole webinar one day on live blood analysis, but we look at the red blood cells, and there's a 4th phase of water that was discovered by Dr. Gerald Pollack. And I can give you guys some links to that. It's stuff you really want to be learning about because it's really important. So this 4th phase of water surrounds all of our organelles in our cells. When it is expanded, our cells are able to separate and do their proper metabolic function. So a red blood cell's job is to go through the lungs, pick up oxygen through the surface area. Think of a tennis ball that you put under the water in the pool. And as long as all areas of that tennis ball are able to interact with the water, it's able to create an exchange. So the cell picks up the oxygen, delivers that to the tissue, and then picks up the waste products from the cell metabolism and delivers that out the organs of elimination. If those cells are stuck to each other, if they're crunched down, if they're packed together, if they're not able to separate, then intuitively, they're not able to do their metabolic job as well. And that's what we're seeing. So with the studies, one of the things we're going to look at is going to be the effect that it has on the red blood cells. And I don't know what we're going to find yet, but we're going to test. A lot of the therapies that we offer, that was one of the things that we look for. Is there a physical reaction that we can see in that 4th phase of water? So the pulse electromagnetic therapies that we use, the lymphatic therapies that we use in a lot of our products are all tested to see if they affect that. Now, if it doesn't affect it, it doesn't mean it's not good. It just means that's not a measurable thing that we can look at. But I think it is going to have an effect. And then we're also going to be looking at the ability to look at pain reduction and reduction of inflammation. So we have thermography in our practice. And if we have an animal, let's say, that has back pain, what I intend to do is being able to take the thermography, take x-rays, show what's going on, give the product, and then in a series of tests after that, see how long it takes, how many doses before we can start seeing a change. Now, these are the case. Oh, another one is for thermography is mobility studies. So we put the animals, we take a mat, a special mat that we put out, like a yoga mat, and then we watch through thermography how the animal walks, and we can see the difference in weight bearing. It shows up on the picture. And then we can give the product and then retest again and see, did we affect the gait? So if you've been able to reduce some of the pain, then they should be able to move differently. So we're going to be looking at that. And I got a whole bunch of other things. Now, when we have our really serious cases, this product is going to be in every protocol, because I think it is that important that we supply the body with the essential nutrients it needs. And I think that the cannabinoid system is there because we're supposed to use it. So, you know, it's going to be in every protocol that I have. So even though in some of those studies, we won't see it as a separate line item all by itself, it's going to be part of a protocol. And we're already seeing our animals, I can say this from my own personal practice, is we are seeing cancers go away. And we're seeing them go away in anywhere from 10 weeks to 16 weeks. And they have remained cancer-free for over a year. And that's how far we've been out, and they are still cancer-free. So hopefully they stay that way the rest of their lives. I think there's a lot that we're going to be able to learn as time goes on. I think that we are entering a whole new world. I hope we never go back to exactly what we had before. It was a very toxic, very consumptive world. And I think now that we have a lot more consciousness, our job as a collective in this organization should be to go out and not just inspire and encourage, but live that model. Like, we all should be growing some of our own food. I can't wait to start taking the product. I haven't taken any yet. So I'm really excited to take it myself. And it's going to be a part of my daily program as well. And be able to set the example, inspire people through who you are and what you do, and lead the way. We are the torch. We're lighting the way.
Guys, Dr. Siegel is a doctor. So let me say this to you. Our products don't diagnose, prevent, heal, treat, or cure any disease or injury. So we as non-veterinarians, not Dr. Taylor here or whomever is here on this today, Dr. Siegel is somebody that studies, researches. She is a person that brings enormous amount of value to Prime My Body, but she also to her entire world of veterinarians. She's done amazing things for that. Dr. Siegel, before you move forward, I've been asked this question because I interrupted you. My humblest apologies. What happened with the horse?
Oh, she's fantastic. She's in my backyard. I wish I could ride her more often. I don't have the time, but she is still living in my backyard and she's doing great.
Good. So she was able to continue after you figured out the protocols.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even tell you at the end of the story.
I know, I screwed it up.
I'm so sorry. Thank you. 5 months after I was told she would never be shown again, I have video and picture of this little duo winning the United States Youth National Reserve Championship. So yeah, she went on an illustrious career. I even showed her, and I won everything that I was in as well. So yeah, she's a phenomenal athlete.
Good deal. So you took your background in training and athletics, and then you put that in your own practice, and you've been doing amazing things for years. Is there anything you'd like to say to our field that may be something that you're passionate about within Prime My Body that you're going to be able to bring us, as well as maybe something about the product versus anything else that's out there? Maybe those two questions real quick.
This is really a unique product. And I was very honored that my opinions actually mattered. And that's really rare to come into a company. Usually these companies are already preset what they're going to do. They got their budgets, they got their mindset. No, they really listened and they said, I really want to know if you could develop something, what would that look like? And this particular product was designed for wellness and for comfort I think those are terms we're allowed to use, right? And so that was that particular product. There will be other products coming down the pipeline, I assure you. And we're really excited to be a part of that. So number one is that the integrity and the quality of these products are amazing. So I'm really, really excited for that. It does set itself aside. I'm approached by a lot of companies. I've done product studies for all kinds of different products, including some other hemp products. And as soon as they tell me how they're making their product or they're not willing to do organic, I just tell them we're not a fit. And this one was a fit. So I'm really excited about that. Can I go back to one thing? I really want to make this point is, here I'm talking about curing cancer and stuff like that, because that's what I do for a living. But I'm going to ask every member of this community, please, please, please do not tell people that this product will be the end all be all for their pet. You've got to get a good diagnosis. So I'm going to encourage you, if somebody comes to you and says, my pet has a challenge, yes, put them on the product, but insist that they find a good integrated veterinarian to be able to work up that animal and get a good diagnosis. Otherwise, we're doing the opposite of what we want to do, and we're causing harm instead of causing good. And this is something I've seen my entire career is massage therapists come out or chiropractors come out and they're going to work on animals and they're not veterinarians and they don't get a diagnosis. And they ultimately end up missing or misdiagnosing, and then that animal is delayed from getting the proper care. So if nothing else that I said today gets across, it's that our jobs are to encourage our pet parents to get good medical attention and use this as an adjunct tool in the toolkit to help these animals feel better and to have a more thriving lifestyle.
Super, super. Just reading a couple of the comments. So you feel like this is a home run. You feel like we, in all your years of practice, we've created the first home run, because you're going to bring us number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 with your help. Yeah. But PAWS 1.0 is a home run.
Yeah. It was a full home run.
I love it. I love it. Is there anything, any complications with allergies, anything like that? I've had a couple of questions about that people have hit me with.
So an allergy is a symptom, right? And a symptom is simply reflecting that there is a problem in the body. We don't blame anything. That's Western medicine. We name it so we can blame it, and then we can have a treatment for it. In the world that I'm going to take you to, we look at a symptom as a piece of communication. If your dash light on your car came on and said, check under the hood, there's a problem, you wouldn't unplug the light and go, oh, look, the problem's gone. You would go find out what the problem is. And that's what symptoms are for us. It's the body communicating that there is something not right. And now we can go figure out what that is. And once you fix it, it doesn't exist anymore.
Gotcha. So I know we talk about dogs and cats. Could you give this to a horse? I mean, and I know I know you'll be developing something for that, but who do we give this to?
Let's keep it to dogs and cats. I haven't even researched that on the horse side, nor is the concentration going to be anywhere near what they need. So let's keep this to a dog and cat product.
Okay, super.
Now,
that is enormous. That is enormously important for our field to hear that. So guys, just make sure, you can ask the equine questions, but thank you.
Now, what we are going to study also is how does it work topically? And I don't have any information on that yet, but I'm thinking that we're going to have some good results as we start using this in a topical application as well.
Okay. Anything else you want to share about the products? You want to go into any liposome with a little science on that, maybe the ingredients, so you want to go deeper into that, or?
I think I already covered it. It's pretty straightforward. How easily is it absorbed? Is it a clean, healthy product? I think we covered all that really well. If anybody has a specific question, they can contact me. And I don't know, is there something that I've missed?
Dr. Siegel, the one thing we want to do is we don't want to overwhelm you. You've got a practice to run. You are enormously busy. So we're going to take all questions through support, and then our support, as well as Buddy Byington, will be getting FAQs. They'll be working hand in hand. So we don't want to open you up to that. Oh my gosh, I don't want to open you up to that. I hope everybody is listening when I say this. we do not want to open her up to that. But you will be getting people that will be bringing their animals to you, I promise you, because people are looking for that integrative medicine, like Dr. Ron. Dr. Ron's practice has helped so many people in our company, and now you are about to help our furry little family members.
I do have two things I'd like to say.
Okay.
Number one, going back to that idea that everything happens for a reason, keep in mind that you have the particular pet that you have at this time in your life with whatever challenges that they have for a reason. And hopefully, as we move through this process, we'll be able to figure out what that reason is and to be able to fulfill the missions that we came here to do. The second thing I wanted to mention is that I do offer phone consultations, and it's a health consultation. I am still held to the legal responsibilities that I can't practice in a state that I'm not licensed in, and I'm only licensed in Florida. So if I have not put my hands on that animal physically, then I don't have a client-patient relationship. We have people coming in from all over the country. They come in, they get their initial treatments and such done. Once I've established that relationship, I can still continue their veterinary care long distance, but I have to have that initial relationship. What I can do as a consult is what I call a health consult, a wellness consult, where I can set up all the parameters through that 6 points that we talked about in that ebook at holistichealingvet.com. And you'll be able to really understand how to set the body up for success. So those are two important things. And then if you want to learn a little bit more about species appropriate diets, you can go to evoloveRaw.com, EVOLOVE raw.com. So I'm going to say one wonderful thank you to Prime My Body, because in the past, when I couldn't find a product that met my qualifications, I had to go out and make it. So I couldn't find a raw food that really made my specifications. So I went out and actually started the company. And as I was starting to turn my attention towards CBD products, thank goodness I ran into you guys. So I do not have to go down that rabbit hole. I am leaving it up to you to be the experts in that industry. So thank you very much.
Dr. Siegel, this is the first introduction. Have you been busy, even with all this craziness going on? Has your clinic been busy?
We're still open and we are still practicing. I'm probably doing more consultations than I did before. And I am loaded with webinars and talks and things like that, because we are going to more of a digital platform. So I've been on tons and tons of webinars and programs. We just did an ozone summit yesterday, and I believe I will have a link to that. I did a 30-minute presentation on the benefits of ozone, but it wasn't just ozone that was in these cases. And so if you guys are really interested in seeing some amazing medicine, get a hold of that ozone summit. It's free, and you're just going to see some amazing stuff. What's going to happen in the future is Prime My Body, the PAWS, is going to be part of those protocols. And then when you see these cases, sometimes we can't isolate out what exactly was this component versus that component, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. When you have a thriving individual with health and quality of life and longevity, those are the things we're looking to achieve anyhow. So as long as you can get there, that's all that really matters.
Super. Dr. Siegel, you are off the hot seat. We'll let you get back to what you're doing. Guys, there's a million things you could ask. We've got a couple of weeks to compile questions for her before you actually start shipping. So we're about a week and a half from shipping, call it 14 to 17 days before we start shipping. So we're going to have plenty of time to get you a lot of content of questions from our field. So Dr. Siegel will load you up with that. Guys, to go through support, send an email into support. They'll ship that over to Buddy Byington, and then Buddy and Dr. Siegel will be talking on that. So I'm going to let you go. We're going to cover about 10 more minutes of this call on some building techniques. But Dr. Siegel, we appreciate your time. You're off the hot seat.
Thank you, guys. So honored to be part of your family.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
So guys, as you're sitting here today and you're watching this and you're listening in, number one, another home run. And when you think about Prime My Body and what we do as a company, and she fits the criteria of exactly who we are. When I was talking to her this morning and she was talking about Dakota, and she started breaking down carbohydrates versus what we're feeding her, and she started talking, I was just like, oh my gosh, it was literally just like here we go. You know what? This is all the stuff for the last 3.5 years, but it's for your pet. Now, I should know that, but I didn't. I should correlate the two, but I didn't. But now I know today. So I know what this product is going to mean to so many of us that are here. I know what this is going to mean to so many people that love and care about their furry members of the family and what that means. You know, I'll cover one topic today, which is building during this time. And building during this time means that you've got to become effective with this. Yes, that is your phone, in case you're wondering. That is a cell phone. And during this time, your cell phone is going to become an amazing part of this. As a matter of fact, if you go into your cell phone and you'll click down to, or if you'll go in and you'll get over into the settings, and if you'll go over to contacts, click on contacts and go down and go through and scroll to the bottom. You know, guys, what you'll see is you'll see literally thousands and thousands of people that are in your phone that have some type of connection with you. And if you start there, you know, you'll know. Now, the second thing is this phone also means that you probably have a list that you've made. You know, I keep this beside me a lot. You know, I'm an old school writer. I write down and I'm taking notes, and you know, sometimes I'll do it in my phone, but most of the time I'm over here and then I need to transcribe over here so I remember. A lot of you have made contacts with people that you've talked to about Prime My Body, or you've talked to about our amazing products, our amazing, you know, our amazing culture, you know, our compensation plan, which, by the way, guys, I'm gonna hit comp plan real quick. 25% to 50% for people first 28 days. Guys, that is unheard of in our industry. That should be one of the biggest marketing tools that you have is from 25% to 50% sign up for. So for all-inclusive big packs, you do the math, 750 times 4, you understand that. Again, no claims or guarantees of income whatsoever either. Just want you to understand that. But you start to do the homework on that. Somebody signs up 5 people or 10 people or 15 people or whatever that number is, you can start to do the math with that. When you're talking to people, when you bring a new product out, and when you bring a new product out, it's also going back and contacting that base of people, because something may intrigue them about a pet product. Something may intrigue them in the future about a nitric oxide product. Something may intrigue them in the future about an immune product. Something may intrigue them about XYZ product that'll be coming out. You have the ability to go back into your database with people to do that. And by the way, it all starts with this. It starts with your phone. It starts to go back to your phone. And when you reach back, you're contacting somebody saying, hey, I want to keep you up to date on what's going on. I want to tell you what's going on with our company. I know you have a dog. I know you have a cat. I know you care about animals. You can hear my dog barking in the background. I know that you care about animals. I just want to let you know, we just rolled out an organic pet product. It is absolutely phenomenal. We got an amazing vet, Dr. Marlene Siegel, who is heading this up. She's had a holistic practice, and you can start to do your research, and we'll start to get more and more stuff to you. But you can now go back to your database or back to the people that you contacted, and you can actually start to talk to them about new products. You can also talk to them about this time. How are you? What's going on? Has this affected you financially? How's your job? Oh my gosh, you know, oh, you lost your job, or, oh, your business is struggling. Hey, have you ever thought about diversifying? Have you ever thought about this? And some people go, well, I feel so weird calling during this time. People get this kind of fear of wanting to call, or that emotion of, man, if I'm calling, is that the wrong time to do this? Am I calling in the wrong time? Guys, there's never going to be a right time to call. There's never going to be a right time to call. I promise you, there just isn't. But if you've got emotional currency, I've talked about this as well. If you've got that emotional currency that you've poured into people, then you'll have an opportunity to call anybody that you know. What is emotional currency? It means, have you checked in with people? Are you checking in with people? You know, over the last 6 weeks, have you reached out and called anybody? Have you touched base with your friends that are outside of your database of Prime My Body? Have you been pouring into people that are not in your downline? And some people go, well, I never thought about doing that. That's the emotional currency. That's where you start to deposit into the bank account versus withdraw. A lot of times we withdraw from the bank account. We withdraw like, I need something, or I wanted to reach out to you because I needed to gossip or talk about something, or fuss or angry or whatever. Hey, I want to deposit. I want to call. How are you? What are you doing? Those are just little things you can do as you get ready to pick up this phone to start communicating with people. Guys, as you just saw a good solid 40 minutes with Dr. Siegel, this is going to help you with more certainty. I had people that were clicking me going, where Karen and Wendy said, where do you find these amazing people? Where do you find them? Oh my gosh. They show up. They show up through the database. They show up through leaders that are in a conscious awareness of this. And you start to look at different people that join the company, and you start to look at different people that are bringing value. It's somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and all of a sudden we've got a person that's bringing the ultimate value to our company. And it's leadership that's always constantly asking and questioning and pushing the company to become better. All these different things, guys, are what makes a great company. I think Dr. Siegel is an absolute home run. I absolutely look forward to her bringing the value that she brings to our company, just her overall spirit. You guys can see that. She's one of the prime my body already. You can just feel it and see it. Our consciousness is way up here. And as we are looking for that consciousness to go to a whole nother place, we're looking to do it within our community, with our pets and with our animals as well. So with that being said, guys, I just want to say welcome. And again, it wouldn't be fitting without having a dog in the background to end our pet call today. And I want to thank you for taking time to be with us today. God bless you guys. Dig back into your database, bring out new products, start contacting people. There never is a wrong time to call the right person. I heard that many, many years ago. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't. So when you make those phone calls, just understand people are listening. They want to know what's going on. Guys, we're going to be going to one call a Saturday. We're going to be going to one call a Saturday. We'll make that announcement here in the next week, what time that is going to be. It's falling between this and about 12, maybe even 1 o'clock. We're just tossing some ideas around, but we want to go to one call on the Saturday. We want to be able to bring, a lot of training, a lot of information to you. And we want your day to be filled with how you can become the best Prime My Body affiliate you can become, getting the best information and content that you can get, building teams and organizations to impact the world. And remember, guys, we started this with significance. We want to be significant in all we do, and we want you to be able to go out and be significant with what you want to accomplish for yourself and your family. Have a super day, guys. God bless. Stay 6 feet apart from each other right now. Make sure you're quarantining, but make sure you're happy. Make sure you're smiling. It's real easy to go from to this. Make sure you do that. I told my daughter that the other day. She asked me a question with a frown on her face, and I said, Addison, turn it upside down. I want to see you smile when you talk. Don't frown when you talk. Guys, have a blessed day. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Dr. Siegel, thanks for being with us.